Welcome to GCNTech. In today's video, I am going to compare UCI-illegal exploding retro wheels against UCI Fun Police legal modern road wheels. I'm going to ride both of these wheel sets over a set course of 12 kilometers to see how they compare in terms of speed. That is going to allow me to discuss if modern road wheels are actually any faster. I'm also going to discuss some of the finer details as well. In the retro corner, we have the Spinergy Rev X from the 90s. And in the modern corner, we have the Vision Metron 55 SL, which is actually only a handful of years old. And for those of you who are wondering, I could stop doing that voice now, it's really not good. But for those of you who are wondering why it is that I'm not actually using the very latest of carbon wheels, well, that's because most of those are disc brake only, and retro wheels aren't exactly geared up for that. So, if I was to use a disc brake wheel, well, I'm not going to be able to isolate just wheel design because I'm going to have a different braking system and I'll be using a different bike. There's almost 30 years difference between these retro and the modern wheels, which incidentally isn't vastly different to my age. But in that time, and with all of the development that we've seen in wheel technology, how does that affect the performance and speed that we get from our wheels? Well, that is what my 12-kilometer test loop is going to try to find out. But before that, let's have a somewhat quick and somewhat unofficial game of wheel top trumps. So, weight.
Winner.
Tubeless tyre compatibility.
Winner.
Spoke count.
Winner.
Rim width.
Winner.
Rim depth.
Winner.
Cassette compatibility. Bizarrely, 11-speed cassettes fit on both of these wheels. Current price.
Winner.
Retro cool factor.
Winner.
Oh yeah. The most striking difference between these two wheel sets is in the spoke design. These retro Spinergies are using a unique design, which is featuring 8 bladed carbon spokes. A design which at the time was revolutionary, and as a kid, I could only dream of owning wheels like these. Yet here I am, 2 eBay purchases later, £500 lighter, and some 30 years later on down the line, quite literally living that dream. But when you compare these retro wheels to their modern day equivalent with deeper, wider carbon fibre rims and small steel spokes, I've got to say, these retro wheels are certainly looking quite dated, especially if you remember them from first time round in the 90s. However, the less sort of nerdy tech people who don't remember these wheels are probably quite likely to still be wowed. In terms of basic shape and construction, modern wheels and rim design uses a blunted profile, similar to a U-shaped design. This creates a very stable rim in varying degrees of wind angle, such as crosswinds. Whereas the retro way of thinking was to create a narrow, sharp profile similar to the shape of a V. The thinking was that the wheel would just slice through the air better. However, in crosswinds, the wheel was very unstable. Modern wheels typically use a full carbon fibre construction, whereas previously carbon fibre wheels would use an aluminium core and an aluminium braking surface. However, with the advancements that have been made in carbon fibre technology, modern wheels are now lighter than the retro wheels, which means they can accelerate marginally faster, and they're also going to help you climb slightly faster too. But as Ollie and I have shown in previous tests and experiments, generally aerodynamics will trump weight even when climbing, unless you're going up a climb which has a significant gradient to it. Now, there are loads of different versions of these retro Spinergy wheels, and I don't actually know which ones I've purchased. So if you know what wheels I've got, please let me know in the comments section down below. And I know at the start of this video, I build these up as exploding retro wheels, but I've got to be totally honest, I'm not aware of any instance where that has actually happened. Again, if you are, let me know in the comments section down below. But what I want you to do is cast your minds back to a time when the UCI introduced a new rule, a ruling and a test, which meant this retro wheel couldn't actually pass the rupture test that the UCI introduced, and these wheels had to pass in order to be used. And the rumour has it that this test was pushed to the UCI and introduced by a competitor wheel brand because they simply knew that this wheel wouldn't pass it. But anyway, the UCI has got absolutely no jurisdiction here, so that means exploding wheels for everyone. Right, let's get this test underway. You ready, modern wheels, Alex?
I am indeed.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, it's test done. Let's discuss the results. Okay, so to the results. But before we jump to that, I've got to say it was actually amazing to be able to ride this iconic retro wheel set, something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. But the results and numbers never lie, and modern wheels did prove to be faster than the retro wheels. But don't jump to conclusions just yet, because they were only 4 seconds faster, even doing back-to-back runs using the same tyres and same body position, same circuit, and everything as consistent as we possibly could. But it is important to remember that this is outdoor testing. So there's of course going to be some sort of slight variation in the accuracy of the results and even just the conditions that I was riding in. And I think the results are so close that even the slightest margin of error could actually flip the results on its head, and it could end up being that the retro wheel was the fastest. But what is clear to see is that retro wheels such as these have really paved the way for wheel technology to evolve and develop over the years, so that we have the wheels which are available on the market today. And since the wheel set which I used in this video, wheel technology has evolved further still. We've now got disc brake wheel sets which use a completely different design and rim profile to rim brake bikes. So are modern wheels faster than retro wheels? Yes, but it's perhaps not as much as you were previously expecting. And would I ride retro wheels regularly? Probably not, but it was incredible to experience what the pros were racing on just a few generations ago, and it really does highlight that the difference between retro tech and modern tech, in some cases, really isn't that much. So that's it for my retro versus modern bike wheels video. I hope you enjoyed this video and it's highlighted the difference between retro and modern wheels. I've certainly enjoyed it, and it's been really cool to ride this iconic wheel set. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And well, if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to GCNTech to help support what we do. See you later.